Hey guys, this is Colby. Today I'm going to show you how to model the back half of the Phase 1 Clone Trooper helmets from last time. If you haven't watched my previous step, then it might be helpful, but I'm just going to show how to model the back half, and let's get started. So continuing where we left off from last time, I'm just going to go back in edit mode, and we're going to basically start modeling this piece here. This like ears piece, kind of hard to see, but it's basically sticks out of the helmet on the side. I'm going to basically model just the portion here and then to the back of the helmets, and then we'll worry about the top half of the helmet later. But right now we're just going to keep going back. So grab all these edges here. So hold down Shift, Alt, and then left click on these edges once they're in edge mode. That way we have them all selected. I'm going to deselect some of them. So hold down, press C, and hold down Shift and left click on these two edges here, and that'll be it. So we have the ones we needed. So let's press E to extrude. We'll go to front view to make this easier. Let's press E to extrude, move it sideways on the x-axis, and then to straighten it out, to make it flat and straight, we're going to press S and then X and then 0. So S, X, 0. That'll straighten that out. Now we can just rotate it to match the alignment of the little earpiece here. So I'm going to move it, I'm going to rotate it, press R to rotate. I'm going to go into wireframe mode to make this easier to see. And you can, just flatten it out again if you need to, as many times as you need. Let's just try to match the alignments. Looks about good. Move this down a little bit. Move it inward just a little bit. Because it's going to basically go back. That's what this little part here is, the white part of the earpiece. Alright, so I'm going to move this little edge here, just inward a tad bits. Looks good. So let's select all the edges, hold down Shifts, Alts, in edge mode. We'll go to right view on my numpad, so press 3. And then we're going to move back, so press E to extrude again. But this time we're going to extrude on the y-axis, so E and then Y, and rotate it, and scale it down a little bit. So press S, then just drag your mouse inward, and left click to finalize it. So basically just matching the reference. So this point goes to right here, and this corner should pretty much be right here. So now it kind of goes back, make it look nice and straight. Make sure this entire section here is just one big flat face. That's that. So now we're going to start modeling this section here. If you want to model these little holes inside, that'll add a lot of extra detail that can basically be done with texturing a bit better, more simply. So I'm just going to basically just model 2 faces. That's about it. I'm not going to model all the holes. That's just a little bit too much detail. And it'll start to make the whole project a lot harder. So I'm just going to drag this face here, this edge, and then press E to extrude down. And just match the reference. So it's down quite a bit. Move it like right about there. Go to front view. I'm gonna grab this vertice and move it right about here. Go to side view. Just make sure it matches the reference. Just switch the angles as many times as you need. I'll press E to extrude again. And so we need to basically fill in these sections here. But right now I'm just gonna match the reference. So it's kind of going up a little bit. So we need to move that down. Move this over here. That looks a bit better. Just make sure this section is flats. Looks alright. So now we need to fill in these 2 faces here. So hold down Shift and left click on the edges. Press F to fill. Do the same right here. F to fill. And let's blend this better. So in order to blend, you can just press C and select the faces. Or in this case, I'm just going to select these two faces and press S and then X. You just kind of try to blend them as best as I can. If that doesn't work, you can just basically move these back and straighten it out. Just do your best. If it, sometimes it doesn't always go as well as I thought it would, but that's good enough. All right, so for this section here, this part on my side view, it was like pretty much like right here, but from the front, it looks like it's fine, but it's actually supposed to kind of go inward a bit. So it's supposed to be this high. It may look kind of incorrect on the front view, but we just have to move it inward a little bit. Just like that. And just kind of move these in. Just make sure it's straight. There we go. All right, so now we're modeling the back of the helmet, so it's time to switch our reference. So grab this plane here, go to front view, and find the one that has the back view, which is this one. I'm gonna move it right about here. So now instead of modeling from front view, we're gonna be modeling from back view. So press 1 on your numpad to go to front, and then press 9 on your numpad to switch it to back. And I'm going to move this plane basically to the half point of my helmets. Right about here. Maybe a little bit back. Looks alright. So I'm going to adjust the image a little bit. So move it actually, instead of right here, move it forward to pretty much like right this point right here, to make it easier to see this part, because this is the part where we're going to be modeling the back from. So let's go to back view, press 1 on your numpad, and then 9. And on the reference, there's this little shadow right here, which has this dark area, which makes it seem like there's like a line you're supposed to follow, but it's actually not really part of the actual helmet itself. It's just a shadow. So if you go to the other side, you can actually see it clear. There's no shadow here. There is on this side. So just, make sure to follow your reference without much confusion, because it might cause a lot of problems in the future. I was just having a lot of trouble like trying to get past this. I was like, what is that? But now I kind of know what it is. So anyway, we continue where we left off. So from now on, I'm probably going to just be using this side more to see kind of if I'm on the right path. So in this edge, I'm going to move it like to the right a little bit. So it should be kind of like lining up with this wall right here. Move this point here, straighten it out. And go to wireframe mode just to make it easier to see. Got like an angle to it, so it's kind of hard to match. There we go. All right, so now we can start modeling this section here. And I'm gonna move this up just a little bit just to correct it. Go on X, and X, Z a little bit. Looks good. So I'm gonna grab these edges here. So hold down Shift, Alt, deselect these ones right here. And we're going to extrude sideways. So press E and then X. Move it inward a bit and rotate it. Remember, you can scale it down again. So S and X and 0. So straighten it out and scale it to match it better. And that looks pretty good. Straighten it out here. So it should basically be stopping at this line right here. That's where we're going to be continuing. Right, so I'm going to grab this edge here, and I'm going to extrude it all the way around and merge it on the other side. So press E to extrude, press X, E then X, and just maybe like move it to right about here. That's where it kind of starts to curve a bit. Go to side view, move it on the y-axis to like that point right here. That looks about right. Press E again to extrude on the x-axis, and let's merge it to the middle. Let's move it right here. Go to side view again, press G and then Y, and then move it pretty much right here. It's pretty low poly at the moment, but we can add more curves to it later on. But not right now, because that's just going to add too much detail. But there we go. So now let's grab these edges here and extrude them. So we're going to extrude to the bottom of the helmets right here. And we're just going to match it to the other planes. So go to side view, press G and then Y, and move it right about here. That's where it should be. Let's go to back view, match it. And so basically this vertice is going to merge to this vertice right here. And we're going to add an edge loop down the middle here. So Control R. And let's go ahead and merge these vertices. So this one and this one should be merged. So press M to merge it last. And select these two, press M to merge it last. Alright, so I'm gonna actually grab this set of edges here and kind of move them more to this way. So go to back view, move it on the x-axis. If you have to, just make sure it aligns with the portion here. And just make sure it essentially doesn't twist right here. Make sure it has the right rotation and matches the rotation of this set of edges here. So that looks alright. So every time I rotate it, it kind of does that. It's alright. So let's grab these edges here and deselect these ones. So Shift Alt and then select these edges. Press E to extrude to this point right here to match the set of edges that we already created. Let's scale it down on the Z-axis a little bit. Rotate it and just merge these two. So hold down Shift and select these two, press M to merge it last. And we need to basically move it inward a bit on the x-axis. Let's go to back view again. G and then X and scale it in the X, make it straight. And that looks good. So let's add an edge loop right here. So that way we can start creating this angular face right here. And we'll move it up. This will also help the curve a little bit. Let's move it like right about here. And let's start selecting these edges here. Let's go to back. And let's press E to extrude to this point. Scale it down. So I'm going to move this a little bit more to the side. Let's merge these two vertices. Last. So now we can start creating this triangle. So I'm going to create an edge loop right here. Move it up to this point. And make sure it looks good from the right view. That should be good. It's a nice curve. And we need to drag these edges basically to the right on the y-axis. Let's go to right view, move it to this point. That looks good. So grab these edges, press E to extrude again, basically to that point. And we're going to move all these other edges kind of like to match the reference. So create like an angle, like triangle. Just grab each vertex and move them to the position they need to be in. Almost there. So now we need to move this set of edges a little bit on the x-axis. So press G and then X, and then move it up a bit. And we're going to merge these two at last. And let's grab these edges again we just created and move them basically back on the y-axis right about here. Make it at an angle. Straighten out a little bit. Move it down. And just match the reference. Oh, it's almost there. Just make sure it covers this entire area, the white part. That looks really good. Alright, so we're almost done with this video. All we need to do now is just merge and start creating a little bit of depth in this little triangle here, or trapezoid I mean. So grab all these edges, Shift Alt, and press E to extrude, and move them on the y-axis inward to create a little bit of depth. And let's go ahead and select these faces here, or edges I mean, and merge them. So press E to extrude on the x-axis, move them inward, merge them together, merge these two vertices, and there we go. Let's just make sure it looks good from the side view, because this has a little bit of a curve to it. It's not perfectly straight, according to our reference. So just kind of match it. That looks a little bit better. Don't get too much, just, a slight curve. And just kind of make sure everything looks good. There we go. So I'm not going to be modeling this section here just yet. I'll be doing that in the next video. Alright guys, that's the end of this video. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below and I'll try to answer them. And if you could please like and subscribe, it'd really help out my channel a bunch and help me get to 1,000 subscribers one day and start making some money with monetization and everything. But until then, just, I hope y'all guys enjoy these videos and I'll keep making them. And let me know if you want any other kinds of videos or other requests. But that's it. So I hope y'all guys enjoyed this video and I'll see y'all guys next time.